Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the class of 12th English Medium. The subject is Statistics, Part 2, Chapter 4, that is Limit, presented to you by Vitan sir. This will be the last tutorial for this chapter, and I have selected 5 sums which may cover most of the methods of the final exercise to explain it to you guys. Starting with where we left off in the last tutorial, section D. The sum number here is 15. This is a question which has confused many students for many years according to my experience. So I have selected it to explain it to you guys. Limit x tends to negative 1, x raised to 2017 plus 1 divided by x raised to 2018 minus 1. Now the problem here which some students face is how to find the power 2017 and 2018. But as we move forward in the sum, we will recognize that actually we don't have to find those powers here. I will explain you in a short while why. First of all, we are going to rewrite this as I will be adding the powers to my ones also. As you can see, x is tending to negative 1 value. So I have taken in the brackets negative 1 values. Now, in the numerator, there is a positive sign. In the denominator, there is a negative sign. I will explain you why. As you can see, whenever the power is odd, the negative value remains negative, and the power is even, negative value becomes positive. In this question here, 2017 is an odd number. So negative 1 raised to 2017 makes it a negative 1. So negative makes it positive. 2018 here is a even number. So negative 1 becomes positive 1. So positive negative remains negative. That is the reason why I have written it like this. In the next step, what we are going to do, that we will be adding the x negative 1 divided by x negative 1. Why? Because you know our format which we have been using many times. According to that format, I must do this with this sum to solve it. Limit x tends to negative 1, x raised to 2017 minus negative 1 raised to 17. Now I have swapped the places with this value with this, as you can see here. Then what I am going to do is I am going to replace these values here, and this multiplication has become division. The multiplication will be converted into division. Now, as you know, this is our format, the proof which we have been using. Limit x tends to a, x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a will directly give us the answer n a raised to n minus 1. Similarly, for the first step, 2017 is the n. For the second step, 2018 is the a here. So we will be taking the next step. 2017 will be put in the equation here, like this. 2017 into negative 1 raised to 2017 minus 1 divided by 2018 into negative 1 raised to 2018 minus 1. So that was for the second step. First step, first part, 2017 a is negative 1 raised to 2017 minus 1. For the second part, n is 2018, a is negative 1, power 2018 minus 1. We will subtract the powers first. So 2017 into negative 1 raised to 2016 divided by 2018 into negative 1 raised to 2017. Now this 2016 is an even number, so negative 1 will become positive 1. As we know that 1 raised to anything is 1, just the signs may change. 2017 is an odd number, so negative 1 will remain negative 1. So it will reflect like this, that 2017 into positive 1 is just 2017, 2018 into negative 1 is negative 2018. And when we put it in the division, 2017 divided by negative 2018, and so it will be minus 2017 divided by 2018. So this is how we get the answer for this particular question. First, you have to convert them into our standard forms like this. Then you have to add additional values to get them in the standard forms. You have to swap the divisions and then change numerator into denominator, denominator into numerator. Then using the form here, you have to convert them into regular values. You have to remove the limit here. Then you have to simplify the power. As you know, anything raised to 1 is 1, but positive negative may change. Accordingly, you will get your answer. So don't be confused, my dear friends. It is actually an easy sum, but you just have to think logically. Next, we will take question number 16. It is again a similar sum, but it is easier as there are no changes in signs. There are just fractions in the powers here. So again, you might be confused what to do. But as you know, x tends to 1 and anything raised to 1 is 1. So that rule we will apply in this sum once again. First we will write it down as it is, and then we will add x minus 1 divided by x minus 1. But before that I have written powers to 1 also, because anything raised to 1 is 1. We can write anything in the power of 1. So to make it look alike, so x raised to 7 upon 2 minus 1 raised to 7 upon 2 divided by x raised to 3 upon 2 minus 1 raised to 3 upon 2 into x minus 1 upon x minus 1. To balance the equation here, you know our form needs something in the division proper. Then I am swapping the sides. X raised to 3 upon 2 part is swapped with x minus 1 part to make two separate forms. Then I will be swapping numerator with denominator, denominator with numerator for the second part. The first part will stay as it is. I will only change the second part, and multiplication will be converted into division because I have inversed the value. In the next step, we have to follow this format. So in the next step, 7 upon 2 will come forward. 1 raised to 7 upon 2 minus 1 divided by 3 upon 2 will come forward. 1 raised to 3 upon 2 minus 1. And now anything raised to 1 is 1. So just 7 upon 2 into 1 and 3 upon 2 into 1. 1 can be ignored. 7 upon 2 divided by 3 upon 2. 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So 7 upon 3 is your answer. So actually those who are wondering how to solve the fractional powers, you don't need to, because there is a value 1 in which we have to take the power 4, and anything raised to 1 is 1. That's a mathematical rule which is very useful in this case. Next we will do 3 sums from section C. Section C is a big, but we will be doing 3 sums, but not the initial 2 part sums, the last part sums from the section E. The first sum, limit h tends to 0, x plus h raised to 7 minus x raised to 7 upon h. As you know, this is a format which we can't directly use, so we are supposing here that x plus h is t. So when we change the side, h is equal to t minus x. Now here h tends to 0, so we are assuming that t tends to x. So we will change x plus h as t, h as t minus x, and h tends to 0 as t tends to x. So once we get this format, we can directly remember our proof, and using that proof, the power is 7x raised to 7 minus 1. That would be 7x raised to 6, and that's the answer. Yes, this is that simple. This is a 4-mark question. Still, this is that simple, just because you have to suppose you get these high marks. Second question is very similar, but rather than power, it has a root, but we will follow the same method. So first, but we will convert root to our power. When there is a 10th root, it becomes 1 upon 10 in the power, and anything raised to 1 is 1, so I can write 1 upon 10 power in the 1 also. Now again we have to suppose here that 1 plus x is t, so changing the side of 1, x is equal to t minus 1. If x is 0, then t is 1. So now this value I am going to write in the equation here. Limit t tends to 1, t raised to 1 upon 10 minus 1 raised to 1 upon 10 divided by t minus 1. I have replaced 1 plus x with t and x with t minus 1. Now once again I will be following the same proof which I have been following and with that 1 upon 10 will come forward, 1 raised to 1 upon 10 minus 1, which we will just ignore because anything raised to 1 is 1. So your answer will be just 1 upon 10. So this is how you do the sum. Now moving forward to last sum of this tutorial and this chapter, which I found somewhat tricky. Yes, the square root sum. But in this square root sum, it is a one step ahead, as you first have to put the value of function and then do the square root method. First, fx is equal to x plus 7 root. So if we take f2, it will be 2 plus 7 root, that will be f2 root 9, that would be f2 just 3. So I will say it once again, fx is equal to root x plus 7. When I put 2 into the equation, it becomes 2 plus 7 root, that makes it root 9, and that would be 3. So now I will put fx and f2 values into my regular equation here. So fx will be x plus 7 root and f2 will be just 3. Now this is a square root sum. So what we have been doing in this square root kind of a sum, we will assume the first part as a, second part as b. So it becomes a minus b, and to solve this we need to multiply them with a plus b formats. That would make it x plus 7 plus 3. If we are multiplying, we also need to divide with x plus 7 plus 3. Now because it is a minus b and a plus b formats, it will make a square out of x plus 7 root and square of 3, while the denominator will be written as it is with the denominator of the first part. Now when we square the root is removed, but 3 square makes it 9. So it will be x plus 7 minus 9. The denominator will be as it is. We are not making any changes right now. First, plus 7 minus 9 makes it minus 2. Now as you can see, x minus 2 and x minus 2 are cancelled. So the remaining value which we are going to write down is 1 upon root x plus 7 plus 3. Now we have simplified the equation. We will put value of x, that is 2, into the equation here as a limited value. Root 2 plus 7 plus 3. So 2 plus 7 makes it root 9 plus 3, that is root 9 is 3 plus 3, that is 1 upon 6. So with this, your chapter ends. What you need to try is to complete the remaining sums of the final exercise. Also, they will more or less resemble the sums that I have done till now. If you have any doubts, any method you don't understand, try to revise all the tutorials I have done. I have completed all the methods which can be used for this particular chapter. So try to view the videos and try to understand from that. So my dear students, next time I will be starting with the 5th chapter of the second part, that is the differentiation, which topic is based on the limit topic itself. Till then, stay tuned, stay home and stay safe.